All right, guys, the time I needed a gun, story number four. Number four, and there's like at least 11, and I've probably forgotten some I just jotted down. So, for those keeping track at home, you might want to think about how many events were only one attacker, and how many stories were two or more, and was sometimes an additional dog or an AK pistol that would make it even more of a serious situation, a behind the gun, if you will. So we had two would-be robbers. We had a attempted robbery guy with a large dog. We had two felons escaping after a crime. And now to story number four. So number four. So write down how many times were one or two. You might want to pay attention. Story number four. Story number four is summertime Atlanta. Coming back from my range, doing a revolver training day. I was carrying a 7-shot 357 Magnum. I think it was my GP100 or my 692. Pretty sure, no, it was all Ruger. It was my Ruger GP100. So one of the few times stories with only a revolver. Luckily, it was a 7-shot revolver, but even that might have went really bad. And why is that? Now, I always tend to carry a backup gun as well. I had a little pocket pistol as well, but so it was only like 5 o'clock-ish. Driving on the way back, hot summer day, still bright out. And if I babble, it's hard to go through the memory, guys. I fought MMA and stuff, and it's pretty traumatic. Okay, the truth of the matter is, it's not a movie. These experiences, especially when it's one after the other, of what living in a decontrolled city, even outside, is like. A lot of people with money have no idea what life is actually like. They are so out of context of reality. So, I try to, always have at least half a gallon tank of gas, right? Well, I messed up. And I was so low that I'm like, I need to stop at this gas station on the way home. Now, I'm only pretty close to my house. But the difference between a few hundred yards of hood to not really hood, kind of thing. Often, cities are often like that, where a few hundred yards to 2 miles can make a drastic difference. Awareness comes into this. Awareness. So even though I'm like, okay, there's a lot of people there. I kind of saw 3 dudes here. Like, what are they doing? They're kind of just hanging out and they're not next to a vehicle. Okay, there's a couple sketchy. There's 3 sketchy over here. And then, like, okay, so I'm already paying awareness. I decide to pull in. And I think that they're like maybe going to go across the street. They had been talking to this other car of potentially dangerous folk. So, they had kind of like moved. So like I'm paying attention, like, oh shit. But I think the 3 that were here were kind of moving, and I'm paying attention to this vehicle. They take off. I'm getting out. I'm doing my thing. Keeping my eye on them, pump the gas. They're pumping the gas. They take off, turn right, kind of up the hill. There was 2 major streets. There's like this downhill street and this major street here, not far from where I lived. So they turn right and they start going up the hill. I'm here pumping gas. Okay, I'm just kind of, doing my 4 corners scanning type thing, making sure that those guys are gone. Barreling back down a minute later is the same vehicle, cuts the wheel, turns in, screeching to a halt. As they're coming to a halt, I throw, my leather biker vest open, put my hand on my Ruger GP100 3 and 7-shot Taylor Edition 357 Magnum, loaded with 125 grain, silent jacket at Harrell points. No, Paul Harrell, they probably were they probably were federal semi-jacket at all points, actually. They probably wore the man-stopper rounds, which I have a ballistics test coming up on, actually. Maybe I would have had a chance after all. But I do this, and I give my best Clint Eastwood eyes. These stories are 100% true. You cannot make this stuff up. And if you were, you'd better than all the bullshit Hollywood writers they have nowadays. Not like the awesomeness we got behind me, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. I've been on a set with him before. And Bruce Willis, Mel, maybe you can keep saying some truths, buddy, awakening the world. So anyway, got my Clint Eastwood eyes going across, and they stop, and I see the back door starting to open. I'm starting to draw, and then he must have given the go, go, go sign. They skid out, peel out, and take off. A half a second with less awareness. Had I been caught daydreaming on my cell phone or whatever, I would have been totally fucking jacked, murdered, carjacked, got a shitty car, but at the time, it was kind of wanted by groups like this, gangs. Okay. Had I reacted a half second later, if I draw and engage number one and number two, if 3 to 5 of them, there was 5 dudes in the car. I forgot that I think was the 3 separate ones. It might be. So maybe it was 8 guys. I've always told this story as 5 would be carjackers, but now when I think about it, it might have been 8. Yeah. So awareness, being armed, looking serious, and I guess I pulled off my best Clint Eastwood thing, and they took off. A half second later, though, had I reacted a little bit later, there already would have been 2, 3 out. There already would have been the passenger, rear passenger was the first one coming out. There already would have been, and probably the other passenger. Those 3 would have already been out, right? With pistols, I'm drawing on the first one, bang, 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 bang. I'm getting 9mm 380 FMJs. If they're old school, 40, but probably nowadays 380 9mm FMJs, cheapest stuff they can find and get and steal at Walmart back in the day, is what you're getting hit with. It doesn't really matter how skilled you are, but awareness and tactics. Awareness saved me. This is kind of like story number 2, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Was it the wrong time? It was still daylight. It was busy. I'm in a busy area. They don't care. Now, this was 2020, I believe, so this is emboldened criminals from the white-collar criminals known as politicians, and the ones funding them, and the ones put in positions to be prosecutors, mayors, etc. That are responsible for all these people that got murdered, had their businesses burned to the ground, their American dreams shattered. But anyway, awareness. I am hesitant to carry a revolver to this day as a primary, even though I have my own custom wolf grips available. You can look at pictures at customwolfgrips.com and get them at premiumgrips.com. You know how to do that at premium grips. But I'm still hesitant, even in the nice area where I've got a video like I have to nice restaurants and stuff, when I know I'm not driving in areas that might have sketchy gas stations like this. But I'm still hesitant to carry a revolver primary. If I have carried a revolver primary, I got a Micro 9 as the backup now instead of a little 380 pocket pistol. So that evens it out a little bit. But usually more it's like, double stack 9 or 40 primary and maybe a snub as the backup gun. Look at my 9 reasons to carry a backup gun video. There's the story. Doesn't matter how good you are. I'm really high trained. Had I reacted a couple of minutes later, maybe, yes, it's like the video that just went out yesterday with an old guy shooting 4 rounds and they edited it bad to make it look like 5 of hot 357 Magnum, smoking the carjacker, the first guy, and shooting as the other drove away. Yeah, it can work, but even a 7-shot 357 Magnum with hot ammo, like I drop the second guy, I'm aiming on the second gets a shot at me, the third lights me up. Those aren't good odds. And the fact of the matter is, the statistics, I think FBI statistics, last ones were 2018. It was already growing up exponentially. That 1/3 of the time it's multiple attackers. What do you think happened in 2020 to 2024? Do you think that's exponentially gone up, or do you think it's gone worse? Have you not seen home invasion videos? Capacity may matter. Sometimes nicer areas, I say 9 rounds of 45 and a backup gun might be enough. Probably. Maybe 2 snubs might be enough. Would I ever carry just one revolver? No matter how old, disabled I am getting? No. Maybe in a nice area and they're nice, not heated up times. But that's bad. But mostly, even awareness. I could have the most decked out, comped, red dotted, super duper extendo magazine shit. And if you're daydreaming on my phone, had I been leaning, kind of just looking away, when they skidded back in, it would have been, by the time I turned around and reacted, it would have been too late. So look tough, have this. And if guys are attacking me to rob me, a 250-ish pound dude, at the time 228, I fluctuate, but a big looking dude in a friggin' leather vest like a fucking cowboy. But maybe cowboys can handle some shit, so maybe the revolver guys got it right if you are switched on with good awareness. But I would have preferred to have had something a little higher capacity on me. Do I think 13 of 40? Do I think 16 of 9, 18 of 9 beats 13 of 40 usually? No, I don't. Unless we're talking these intense times that happen right before and after elections, it seems like. Isn't that interesting? My goodness. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you got any crazy stories down below. This was verse 5, would be maybe 8. Robbers, assaulters, carjackers. So that's the most in these stories. But keep paying attention. How many were only one? And were the ones with only one also with a huge dog or an AK pistol coming up? You might want to stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. Hopefully it gets you thinking, keeping you more aware, keeping you aware of tactics, having pre-planned, like I will go behind my engine block or my tires. I'll go behind the gas pumps. Hopefully they don't explode. It doesn't usually work that way, and the metal can help absorb stuff. If, God forbid, I have to go into a stab and go or rob and go, I'm staying in the back till the line gets less crowded. I'm watching gun grabs from behind. I'm always scanning. God forbid you be in there. And if I gotta wait, I'm waiting behind the multiple 2 liters. Thank you, Paul Harrell, because 3-4 of those 2 liters might stop it, or at least slow it down and penetrate less. If it's a hollow point, probably will stop it. So, keep those things in mind. Thanks, everyone. Sub and get down there. And if I babble, it's because it's hard to go through these traumatic experiences. If you haven't been through, especially when I went through a whole bunch at the same time, there's actually like a little PTSD there. No, it's not the same thing as being in Kabul, but, just going about your day, especially in the daylight, and thinking things should be safe. They should be safe in America, and hopefully things start getting better.